Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayowealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
George, hope the weekend is treating you well.
We went pumpkin and mum shopping.
Already?
We had Mr. Archer, so we're going to get whatever he wants, he gets. That's what Pop and Mimi do.
The local arts and crafts store already has their Christmas stuff out.
That's disgusting.
Let me at least get through September. Let
me have a
gobble
gobble first before you start getting Santa Claus.
Now, look, I love Christmas. I'm all about it. But give me a minute. Let me get through Halloween, too, before I start getting ho on everybody, too. Hey, great event. We're still kind of recovering from our inaugural Bets for Vets charity golf tournament a couple of weeks ago. Man, just reflecting back on it, what a perfect day at Rock Manor.
It was fantastic. You know, we had, I think it went great. We always think everything we do is perfect. You know that. But it went really, really well. I was very happy with the first one. Do we have some things that weren't what we wanted them to be?
Sure.
Absolutely.
What's the first
we have
one?
some growing pains, but we did a great job. I wrote out the first 4 checks to charities, which was the greatest feeling in the world, being able to help these people, and more to come. So we're building it and getting going. We're going to be doing this fundraising, not just this one time. It's going to be yearly. All year long, we're going to be collecting money for the vets. And it's important. You know, we talked about this before. You can't just forget about people. They're not disposable. We should be doing everything possible to help these men and women who give us the right to be the Eagles fans screaming at the refs and the Cowboys and spitting in people's face. So it's all good. I'd bring it up.
EGLEIS & Eagles. All right, so with that being said, here's a little recap.
I'm so happy to be a part of it, and the fact that it's for a good cause makes it all that better. Can't wait to do it again.
It was amazing seeing everybody come together for a great cause. The drinks were flowing. It was just overall a great vibe, and I can't wait for next year.
Just being a part of something that gives back to the veterans and seeing the impact it has on that community, I think, is bigger than any long drive contest or closest to the whole contest. So the overall mission behind it, I think, is the best part of a day like today.
A lot of fun with the people I was with and awesome prizes. Everything was great. Doesn't matter, if you're an average golfer, you still have a great time.
My favorite part was the free drinks. But other than that,
You're not
spending
alone.
the day outside in great weather, meeting new people for a great cause at that, doesn't get better than that.
Come here. It's a great cause, great people, a lot of fun. Just be here and support your people.
Supporting people and cocktails. That seemed to be the overall
Way to
theme.
get people. That should be more liquor.
Yeah.
Seems to be a goal for
Is that
next
one of
year.
our
I think
growing-
that's one of the things we should talk about.
Well, I posted a video on my personal social media page of the you hit it, you get it on the putting green. So George had set out probably about 30 bottles across it, and they were far away. And you buy a raffle ticket, again, all for charity. You get 3 putts. Whatever you hit, you get to keep. That video, not us teeing off, not us talking about the event, not the food, the music, the golf, the good times. That video of people, you hit it, you win it, got more views than anything else.
Oh, it was great.
Everybody's like, what a great idea.
It's addictive.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all donated from local Picos on Philadelphia Pike. Donated so much stuff for us to give this opportunity, which is a nice liquor store we like to go to. It's a local guy who does a great job.
Yeah.
But it was a nice way to sit there. Oh, I don't want that bottle. And they bought 3 more tickets for $20.
Yep.
And they wanted the bottle behind it. And it's a great way to go. We had
There's some
great
bartering
time.
in the parking lot, too, man. I'll give you this bottle for that bottle.
I
And
did.
it wasn't just booze. You gave away a putter as well.
I did. A $450 putter. Scotty Shannon or Shootin' or some golfing guy. I don't know.
Works for me.
I don't
You know what? Somebody
I was drinking, having fun, making money.
So
what
was
the heck?
everybody
What the
else.
hell?
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
A great inaugural Bets for Vets, but now we get to say annual because it will be back next spring.
Yes.
Betrayowealth.com, PATRIA wealth.com to keep up to date with everything and to get involved because the planning has already begun to make it bigger and better next year. 302-330-2166. Speaking of money, George, $1.7 billion lottery last weekend. You're here. I'm here.
We didn't win.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And look, I don't want to be greedy. I don't need $1 billion. $5 million. I'll be good with 5.
And it's funny. They originally said it was $1.1 billion. If one person won, taking the lump sum after the government got their share, you got about $400 million. It doesn't sound like a lot of money. 1.1
$1 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a lot of money.
Yes.
You have a lot of new friends. and I'm glad 2 people won this. Somebody from, I think, Missouri and Texas.
I think so.
Which is nice. It could have been from Wilmington, Delaware, which would have been better.
Which would have been a lot better.
Right at 2154 Brandyway Drive. And you really need to take the step forward. Whether you win $5 million or you're making that $100,000, $500,000 worth of your 401k, your thrift savings,
right?
You need to have a plan in place to make sure that money gets to last longer than you do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how many people, Mark, and maybe you'll let me know, how many people want to run out of money before they run out?
Right.
Not many.
Yeah.
So making sure you
Still
have
the number one fear for adults in retirement.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Because we are living longer. And have you seen the cost of stuff over the last 15 years? Everything's going to become more expensive.
Are you having to do that, George? Are you finding that you're building plans that, you've been doing this for a hot minute now, that now you're building plans, boy, I need to add an extra 5 years. Boy, I need this plan to last an extra 10 years, as opposed to 20 years ago where you kind of had a cutoff date.
Yeah, I always believe it's like having company at your house.
Yeah.
We had dinner at my house a couple weeks ago, and we were always raised, I'd rather have too much food than have someone walk away saying I'm hungry.
Right.
The same thing here. I'd rather plan for you to be 95, 98, and you die at 85. And that's terrible you died, but you weren't worried about running out of that money.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talk about the legacy plan with that, because everyone has a different opinion about that, Mark. I think that, Leslie and I's plan is to live a great life when I do finally stop working. She just did. But be able to do everything we want to, and then be able to pass funds on to Alex, Jared, Archer, and our church and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not our priority. Our priority is for Leslie and I to be happy and build memories. And that's what this is about. When you have retirement planning, we work for that. If you're worried about running out of money, or how am I going to pass on my money to my children, my spouse, the other things, give us a call, 302-330-2166, and let's start with that income plan, because it really goes to a couple different things in that income plan, Mark. We're going to talk about income. Where's it coming from now? Where's it going to come from tomorrow? We're going to talk about taxes. Taxes are a terrible thing. We all know that, but we have to address the issue. Social Security, and I think the bigger thing here is legacy planning.
Yep.
Now, people think of legacy and they think of giving it to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think about giving my spouse. Because how many times, Mark, and I'll tell you, we have a couple, Sue and Eric.
Mm-hmm.
They are fantastic. They've been with us now for 8 years. They work with us, and when they come in, they sit down at the desk and we talk. And the first time I said, so, where's your 401k, your TSP? This one knows all the answers. Where is your investment choices? This one knows all the answers. This one partner, usually in a couple, has all the answers, knows all the money is, knows what the plan is. What happens when he or she passes?
Mm-hmm.
Now the left tackle, the big left tackle in football, dumb guy, right? Oh, my postal block, coach.
Right.
Now all of a sudden he's the starting quarterback, and they don't know the plan. So we talk about legacy. It's not just what goes to the children, the church, the synagogue. It goes to who's left behind. Do they understand the plan? A lot of people have questions about that. If you're one of those couples that one person knows everything, give us a call, 302-330-2166, and let's make sure we understand the plan together, how it's going to work for all of us, so that you get to go forward.
302-330-2166. Speaking of couples, I want to talk about a phone call that we got in just a couple of minutes, but I want to put a bow on this conversation about the lottery. So we may not win the $1 billion lottery. We may not win $20 million lottery, but there is a real chance we may get a windfall from an inheritance, or as you mentioned, a legacy. What is the first thing that we should do? We've talked about it before here on the show, the silver tsunami, where $86 trillion will be passed down in the next 8 to 10 years from the boomers. So we know that inheritance is on the way. How do we prepare for that?
I think it's first and foremost you need to have a plan. Speak to professionals.
Mm-hmm.
You need to speak to that CPA. We have Ernie Callias in our office to go over that. You need to understand this is a lot of money. Whoever passed it on to you in the inheritance, it didn't come overnight. Unfortunately, when you look at businesses, for example, when a child inherits a business from the mother and father, those businesses fail at a tremendous rate.
Right.
78% of them fail because Junior thought, well, Dad played golf 3 days a week. Why don't I play golf? They don't realize how hard it is to accumulate that wealth.
Because Dad spent
30
years building that business to play
and
golf.
Giving up and not taking a pay and all those fun things. Same thing here. This lump sum money is given to you. Most inheritances are spent and lost within 13 months because it's not yours. When Alex and Jared bought their first cars, Leslie and I helped them.
Yeah.
But they had to have a vested interest in the cars. They had to put money up. They had to have skin in the game. They had to understand the risk involved. We need people to understand the risk involved in these inheritances. My clients have us talking with their children now, making sure their children know who we are. They understand the plan that we have put together, and they understand how we're going to move this money forward. Because, Mark, think about this. What's a really nasty 5-letter word we talk about every week?
Taxes.
Taxes.
Just making sure.
Right? You got to count your fingers.
I
You want to
did.
use your toes
No,
next
I'm
time?
good. I got it. Thanks, man.
So we count on that. But let's look at something else here. When you're 85 years old, 90 years old, and you pass away, your children are that 40 to 50-year-old group, which is usually what? The highest earning years of their careers. Now they have a bigger burden on top of that. The burden being, A, they just lost someone they love dearly. Hopefully they love them dearly.
Yeah.
B, they now have this income coming, which is giving tax problems. The laws changed about 5 years ago with Secure Act 2.0. Before, if I got an inherited IRA, 401k, a thrift savings plan, all I had to do was take that required minimum distributions out of those accounts. That's all changed unless you're a spouse. We have to liquidate this money within the first 10 years of the passing. How are we going to do it? You need an exit plan for those funds to come out the most tax-efficient way possible. And maybe, Mark, you're going to sit there and say, I want all my money today, I'll pay the taxes. Great answer.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't want to touch any of it until the last year. And that's a great answer. Or maybe you're going to take a little stipend every year to help spread that burden out. That's what we're going to help you with at Betrayal Wealth Group. When you come in and give us a call at 302-330-2166, we'll go over those options because it's not a DIY, folks. I always say that. People think if Google says it, it must be true. Or if AI tells me something, it has to be right. It's not. You need to sit and work with someone who does it every day. You'll come, you meet with me. You'll meet with Ernie Calais. You meet with the team at Betrayal Wealth Group to help you understand the laws, how it's going to affect you going forward, and how we're going to plan accordingly to get most out of that money for you and your children.
That number is 302-330-2166. One more time, 302-330-2166. We have a partner standing by right now and throughout the weekend as well to talk to you, but most importantly, get you on the calendar to sit down with George and the team just to ask the questions, what next? PetraeaWealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A, PetraeaWealth.com to get more, and you can schedule that consultation from the homepage. So we got a call a couple of weeks ago from the show. Young lady called in. Of course, names will be protected, but it was a great call. She was very great energy, but she goes, look, George, I'm doing okay. This isn't so much for me, but I'm calling for my ex-husband because he has 7 figures in a 401k account. And I know that bum, and she didn't say bum, but you could hear, I know that bum isn't going to call you. So I'm calling for him because I want to make sure that A, he's protected, that B, the kids and the grandkids are protected too. And she made the comment, she's like, look, we still have a good relationship. For whatever reason, we're just divorced. So that's what we took from the phone call. But it was fascinating. There's so many layers to what she said because number one, as you mentioned a couple of minutes ago, relationships and partners being on the same page, whether together or divorce. But George, how hard is that for you to make sure that they're both joined in the middle to make sure that I know his 401k, I know my own. How do I put the plan together?
It's a difficult call because he really does not want, he's smarter than the average bear. He's
Right.
Yogi Bear.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've made some leadway with him, talking to him and explain the pros and cons. Because unfortunately, Mark, in my opinion, and this gentleman now is at that age at 60, 65, that as we get older, less of our money should be in place we can lose it.
Yeah.
Especially when I want to do things and he loves his children, he wants to pass on that wealth. That's what we're going to work on. And he's talking a little bit, and talking is a big plus. And I guess I can say this. Did the wife really care about the kids and grandkids? I mean, folks, let's if you're listening today, please don't get mad. It's only, but I don't know about that. But and that's a good woman.
Yeah.
Just because you go through that gray divorce and they're older, so a gray divorce, we still can be friends. A lot of our politicians take hints from these people. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Do you see a lot of that, though, of people, you work with a couple, they're together, and for whatever reason over the years they get divorced, and because you hear gray divorce and you think the divorce is always bad. But in this situation, it's not all bad. She may be, in the reality, she may be looking out for him and looking out. She may, so as my wife says all the time, she'll be like, Mark, I love you. I just don't like you right now, so go away. So it could be a situation.
So she knows Leslie very well.
It's exactly it. So they may have just, fell out of like with each other.
Right.
So, but do you see that with couples in the gray divorce?
Absolutely.
Is it a challenge?
You know what? They're mature adults. They're not 25 years old having something they tried and didn't like the flavor, so they threw it away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They've been together and things unfortunately change. But they still are civil. They have children together. They're mature. And they still like each other. just don't love each other.
Mhm.
And that's, to me, that's sad,
Yeah.
but it is a growing concern in our country. Absolutely.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And let's talk about a little bit as well as obviously he has a very solid 401k account, but let's talk about that for a second here. 401k strategy right now. I know for a lot of people, it's going to be their main source of income in retirement. What kind of strategies are you working with that you see working right now that maybe people don't realize? What kind of adjustments are you starting to make? So if somebody calls you and says, George, where am I at right now? What's the most common questions or solutions you're finding?
Well, once we start and dig in and see where they're at, a problem with a 401k, a 403b, a TSP is you have limited options and choices to go investing. Okay. And unfortunately, all your money when you invest is at risk. So we worry about what happens if. Think about this. We have now been in a bull market for 16 years. The average bull market lasts 7 to 9 years.
Okay, wait, can we stop you?
Yes.
This is a Mark Owens question.
Okay.
Define for me the difference between a bull and a bear market, because I still get them confused.
Bull's going up. The horns are up in the air. The bull's rising on a high level.
Okay.
A bear is dropping down the tree.
So we want to be in a bull.
We want to be in a bull.
Okay.
But you need a bear, a recession to come in to reset the gauges, so to speak. Now, we did have something happen in 2020, which should have been the reset button, and that was COVID. How do we get out of COVID? We put $7 trillion into the economy. We literally went to Monopoly and said, print money.
Yeah.
And we shoved it into the economy. SBA loans, unemployment, money directly to the people. We thought we needed to do that, and we needed to come back out of this. That's why the market went up 30% after COVID. But look where we're at right now. We still have inflation. We've had that for about 28, 30 months. We still have relatively high taxes, high interest rates. We have a really nasty geopolitical view of the world right now. I can't remember how many countries hate each other, this volatile.
Yeah.
And we have pretty much within the country, we have a pretty bad political view. President Trump's trying some things. If it works, it'll be the greatest economy in the world. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work, it's going to be scary. But it's going to be a pretty interesting 4 years. I think we all can agree to that.
Agreed.
Something has to occur. And are you willing to have this $1 million in your TSP all exposed to that risk? I truly believe when you get to a certain stage, you need to start changing your allocations, changing your thought process. Leslie and I were working in the yard. We did yard work last weekend. And I'm a bull. I was 20 years old, college football player. I'm strong as an ox. The key word was I was 20 years old.
Was. Well, past tense.
I'm hauling stuff around. Great. I sat down, took a shower. I couldn't move for 2 days. It felt like I got beat up.
Yep.
My mind thought I'm 20. My body isn't. Our minds for retirement think we're still 30 years old, where we have the years to go if we do have a recession. And when that's going to occur, no one knows. But my market, my retirement can't afford that. So you need to start balancing yourself and changing. The money you have in the S&P 500 in your 401k, great. You always need some risk, Mark.
Yeah.
But you need some money safe in, I always say, in the bank so I can sleep at night. But you need index money too. Indexing money is when the markets go up, I go up. But when the markets go down, I don't care. I lose nothing. And with those proportions worked between safe money in the bank, your money you have in the S&P 500, your 401k, and using indexing, it gives us a balanced approach that we can afford some more risk because I have safety involved.
So are you telling right now, because of inflation, because of the tariffs, because of interest rates, are you advising some of the families you serve, hey, maybe pull back on the risk just a little bit and let's see how this tariff situation plays out. Let's see what they're going to do with the debt. Like, what are you telling the families?
Absolutely. We need to reproportion how we're doing. Now, am I saying that to my 40-year-old customers? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Because they have that luxury of time. But my 59, 60, 65, 70, absolutely. Because you don't have time to recuperate when something occurs. When you look at history, and I wanted to be a history teacher, Mark. I love history. In 2000, we had the bubble burst, right? We had the 9/11, and we had the dot-com bubble burst. The S&P lost 50% of its value in a matter of 2 years. It took 5 years to recuperate that loss. 2007, 2008, we had the housing market, and we almost lost our car industry. Remember that, how bad it was?
Yeah, they had to bail a bunch of them out.
We lost 49%, but only in 6 months. It wasn't a long-term bleed. It was like they cut the wrists. But then we took another 6 years to get back to where we were. That's 13 years that you made $0. You're 65 years old. Can you afford to have 13 years of making $0?
Nope.
You can't. But by having the money, and folks, if I say 90% of your money should be in the bank, absolutely not. But we need to have money in the bank, safe money. Some people think it's $20,000. Some people think it's $80,000. It's whatever the mix is for you. You still need money at risk with the markets. And then you need that indexing. Because when the market goes down, you have zero growth. I had a client come to me and say, George, a zero is not very good. And I said, you're right, it's not. But it's a heck of a lot better than a minus 42, isn't it?
Yeah.
So think about this. When the markets go up, all three of my things are safe making money. That's pretty good.
Yep.
When the market goes down and my indexing has a zero, my bank money is still safe, and my S&P goes down, you stayed where you were 2 out of 3.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. That's what you need to look at. And that's what we're going to help you get to that point to understand. It's about feeling comfortable. It's about having less agita in the morning. Call us at 302-330-2166, and let's see how your investments are going, how your 401k is working. What risk do you have? Where can we make some better choices to get you sleep better at night where you don't have to work? When you retire, you know that, you know what, I get to do what I want, when I want, and how I want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, Mark, it's your money, it's your choices and your decisions. We're just here to help guide you and make the right choices. 302-330-2166.
We're always available online at patriawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com. And when we say, we're watching the tariffs, we're watching inflation, we're watching interest rates, that means not to do nothing. That doesn't mean just sit back and say, let me see how this plays out. Being an ostrich, sticking your head in the sand is one of the worst moves you can make right now.
Absolutely. When you have fear, sometimes you freeze. You don't know what to do. You need to be proactive. This is not about sit back and wait and say, I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
This is about taking steps now to get the safety net put in place so that if something happens, and once again, if you don't think a recession is going to occur, it has to occur.
Right.
When it's going to happen, I don't know. You don't know. No one knows when it's going to occur, but it's going to occur. Let's put some of that money where when the markets go up, we get to share on the upside. But when the market goes down, we have corrections, I don't care. Because at this point of your life, you need to have less worries, more fun, and able to do what you want to.
If you've done a good job, $350,000 or more saved for your financial future, now is the time to start taking a deep dive into your portfolio, see what adjustments need to be made. Procrastination can almost do as much damage to a portfolio as a volatile market does. So let's sit down. Let's have a conversation with George and the team. 302-330-2166. George, where can we find you in the Portfolio Wealth Group?
We're located at 501 Silverside Road in Wilmington, Suite 31, right down the street from the radio station. We're in the Carr Business Park. We've been there now for 13 years. When you come in, we're right in the front door. You can go to patriawealth.com, P-A-T-R-I-A wealth.com, or give us a call at 302-330-2166, and let's schedule that no-cost, no-obligation meeting.
Insurance and annuities offered through George Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.